Shabbat Shalom. Good morning. Welcome to all of you in person and in live stream land. We're so happy you've joined us. Let's just breathe. 1 year is a long time, and this is the anniversary. So with that in mind, we're going to turn to page 99, but I want you to think about what holy spaces you've created, because this week's Torah portion is about creating a holy space. So just think about that. Picture it in your mind. Breathe in its beauty. Just breathe out. We join together, page 99. Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai neshama We turn to page 141, Psalm 150. We turn to page 143. We rise. Third line from the left, Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Vayehi וזמרת ויהי לי לישועה עוזי וזמרת ויהי לי לישועה Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
I'm on screen now. We got everybody. That's great. Perfect. Welcome. Those of you who are here with us in person, sunny Southern California. Isn't that beautiful weather that we have out here outdoors? We're here in the courtyard of Temple Aliyah, coming to you on live streaming. And we are privileged to be able to celebrate the Mitzvah this morning of Cameron, Ryan, and Ghajar. And we're just so thrilled to be with people. Aren't you excited to see people, to be able to celebrate more than just the people in your own house? And if you don't know, by the way, already there is a sense of what this pandemic celebration is about in Bar Mitzvah. It used to be only that you would get a kippah with the kids' names in it. Now you get a mask, and you get Purell, and you get everything you need to have a safe bar mitzvah. You're going to look back, and we're going to people like, 20 years from now, when you pull it out of the right, like you do a kippah, they're going to say, like, what was that for? And then you kids are right, Ryan and Cam, you're going to say to your kids, let me tell you about the pandemic of 2020. Right? But in spite of that, we gather together as sacred community. That's what this moment is, recognizing the holiness of when we can gather. And those of you, you're part of this holy community on this Shabbat. We feel your presence. And let's join together. We're going to begin with the Baruch Hu. I invite you to rise, page 150.
Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, la 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 la. You can sing along. The words are easy. La la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamivorach.
Our turn. Here we go. Baruch Adonai Hamivorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamurach Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ay la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Yotzer or uvorei choshev. Osei shalom shalom uvorei et hakol. Yotzer or uvorei choshev. Osei shalom shalom uvorei et hakol.
Shalom. You may be seated if you're standing up. We're continuing on page 153 with Or Kaddish.
אור חדש על ציון תאיר, אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. איי 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 איי, אור חדש על ציון תאיר, אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות.
We're going to start preparing for the Shema now, getting ourselves in the right headspace to recite the Shema. So as we do that, we'll bring together the four corners of our tzitzit, and we'll join together on page 154, the bottom of the page, B'Havienu.
B'Havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz b'tolichenu קוממיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועות אתה, ובנו בחרת מכל עם ולשון, וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול, לשמך הגדול, סלע ואמת להודות לך וליחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל ואהבה.
All right, Ryan is going to lead us now in the Shema. We're on page 155.
Oh, yeah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levacha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher hotzim metzamecham hayom al levavecha veshinatam levanecha vedibarta bam beshitecha beveitecha uveleftecha avadere uveshobecha uvekumecha ushartam leot ayadecha vechayu letotafot bein einecha Uftavitam al mezuzot beiteha uvishareha.
We'll continue to ourselves quietly at the top of page 156. Cameron is going to lead us in Vayomer, the middle of page 156.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe Lemor, Daber el Bnei Yisrael ve'amarta aleichem ve'asu lachem tzitzi al kanfei vigdechem ledoratam ve'natnu al tzitzi hakanaf petil techelet ve'chaya lachem letzitzi uritem oto. Usartem et kol mitzvot Adonai ve'asitem otam ve'lo taturu ahare levavhem ve'ahare einechem asher atem zonim aharechem lemon tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai vehitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
Emet.
Excellent job to both of you. We're looking forward to hearing more. We're going to continue now with Micha Mocha, page 158.
Sing along with me this beautiful nigun. Yalai, lai, 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 yalai, lai, 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 yalai, lai, 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 yalalai, yalalai, yalai, lai, 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 yalai, lai, 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 yalai, lai, 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 yalalai, yalalai, mihi chamocha, ba'elim Adonai, mihi chamocha, neder Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, oh say fele, Nora Tehilot, oh say fele, Shira Chadasha, Shibechu Geulim, L'shimcha al sifat hayam, Yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu, Ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed yalai lai 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 yalalai yalalai lai 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 lai. Please write Sur Yisrael Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael Ufedechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael Go aleinu Adonai tzivot Shemo Kiddush Yisrael Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al
Cameron and Ryan are going to lead us in the Amidah. We're on page 159, beginning together.
Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagivor Vanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Vezocher Hasdei Avot, Umemiv Goel, Livnei Venehem, Leman Shemo Ve'ahava. Melech Ozer Ufoked Umoshia Umogen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ufoked Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye Meitim Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach Umorid HaGashem Mechakel Kayim Ba'Chesed Mechaye Meitim Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Holim Umatir Asorim Umekayem Umunato Lishene Afar Micha Mocha by all Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Meimit Umekayem Umatmiat Yeshua Vene'emanatan lechachayot meitim Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hametim.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היד נביאך, וכרזה אל זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך הארץ כבודו. אז בקול רעש גדול אדיר וחזק משמיעים קול, אז בקול רעש גדול אדיר וחזק משמיעים קול, מתנסים לעומת שרפים, מתנסים לעומת שרפים, מתנסים לעומת שרף, יומתם ברוך יאמרו, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. ממקומך מלכנו תופיע ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. מתי תמלוך בציון בקרוב בימינו, לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד תשכון, תתגדל ותתקדש בתוך ירושלים עירך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור ולנצח נצחים. בעינינו תיראנה, תיראנה מלכותך, כדבר האמור בשירי עוזך. בעינינו תיראנה, תיראנה מלכותך, כדבר האמור בשירי. Follow the rabbi now. Here we go. Al Yadei, David, Al Yadei, David, Al Yadei, David, Mashiach Tzidkecha, Al Yadei, David, Al Yadei, David, Al Yadei, David, Mashiach Tzidkecha, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי המלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue praying to ourselves through page 166 in the Hebrew, in the English, or whatever prayers are in your heart.
שלום במרומה. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ויעל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Kaddish Shalem, page 167.
יתגדל ויגדל שמי רבה, ועולמה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחיי חון וחיי לכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלמי עלמיה. יתברך ויתפאר ותרומה מן עשה ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלות הון ובות הון לכל בית ישראל קודם ושמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו וכל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו amen.
We're going to begin our Torah service now. And for those of you there in person, you'll see we'll take the Torah out. For everyone joining by live stream, we're sort of ceremonially beginning our Torah service together with Kimitz Yon. Hazan Mimi will lead us on page 168. So in just a minute, we're going to start reading Torah, and the portion we're reading this week, it's actually two parshiot, double portion, Vayakel and Pekudei. We're going to learn a lot how the Mishkan, the tabernacle, this temporary worship space for the Israelites as they're wandering in the desert, how it was built, who helped build it, what materials were needed, how the whole community was able to come together and build this temporary worship space. So we're going to hear a lot more about these two parshiot later. But first, we want to invite up Bobby and Nicole, who are going to offer some words of blessing to Cameron and Ryan on this special day.
Well, you can both breathe a sigh of relief because you won't have to hear me remind you to practice your Haftorah, write your speeches, and keep your notebooks organized and in your own room. Your day has finally come. We've been talking about this special day.
You're almost there. Actually, I didn't think you were going to get that far, to tell you the truth, Nicole, before you broke down.
I did so much
I
better
know,
at Jordy's.
don't worry.
Okay. We've been talking about this special day ever since your sister's bat mitzvah 3.5 years ago. Sure, we had lots of different ideas and big party plans, But like so many other Jewish families, plans changed. Parties come and go, but today, being called to the Torah as a B'nai Mitzvah is what truly makes this day so meaningful and special. As I stand here looking at both of you, my heart is full of pride, and my wish is that you both feel the same strong sense of pride for what you have each accomplished and what you are both a part of, the greater Jewish community. Now that you are bar mitzvahs, you decide what role your Jewish faith will play in each of your lives. My hope is that when you are faced with challenges, not only will you turn to each other and the rest of your family for help and advice, but that you will lean on your faith as well. Cam, you made me a boy mom first. You've always been so strong, but just like your dad, nobody should be fooled by your tough exterior because there is a huge, sensitive heart that is always guiding you. Rai, I can always count on you to defend me in our crazy household. I love your carefree spirit and the ability you have to make the people around you always feel special and loved. You both come from strong Sephardic and Ashkenazi roots, and your ancestors embraced their faith proudly in good times and bad from one generation to the next. I have no doubt that Papi, Naji, Baba Nasser, and Mami Agdas are here with us today and are enjoying this beautiful service. You are both here today continuing that legacy and tradition of honoring and practicing your faith. And I could not be more proud. I love you both. Mazal tov.
All right, Bobby, your turn. Go ahead. You're going to switch places. Come on. Just bring the microphone up to you. Go ahead.
I will never forget the day I was blessed with the news that our small family was going to welcome a boy. I was overwhelmed the day I met you, Cameron, full of blonde hair, angelic, and a calm demeanor, even as a little baby. We had your name picked out for years, and your middle name was a nod to your grandfather. And before the dust had even settled, and as we were just about figuring out how to change your diaper, we received the good news that your mom was expecting another boy. Ryan was born just over 12 months after Cameron, Irish twins. Almost immediately, we became a family of 5, joined by Quinn 4 years later. It's not lost upon me how lucky we are to have 4 special, talented, and uniquely lovable kids. Cameron, I first thank you for your patience. You waited a year so that you could share your bar mitzvah with your younger brother. You two get on each other's nerves daily. You share a bunk bed together, and I'm sure there are many times you long to be separated. But for this occasion, it makes it special, not for just you as a pair, but for you individually, that you and your brother had separate paths to today, but share it together. I don't need to give you life lessons in this speech because we all talk so much about leading by example, doing the right thing, being selfless, the golden rule, and tough decisions that you'll face as a young adult. It's easy to ignore what you know is right for what is easy, the quick payoff. But you know better. Cam, you're inquisitive, you're not shy about your opinions, you're hungry to learn, you're highly technical, your late grandfather called you Chemitech, you're thoughtful, competitive, strong, athletic, and well-rounded. You've accomplished a lot as an athlete, student, and now a bar mitzvot. I enjoy our Sunday drives, our weightlifting, sports, coffees, and the occasional game of chess. But I love most when you look at me with your deep hazel blue eyes and give me your half grin. Dramatic pause. And then put your head on my shoulder. There's nothing you cannot accomplish if you put your mind to it. Nothing. Ryan, we're lucky to have you in our lives. Our personalities are very different, but you've taken the best of my goofiness to another level. You have a unique power to learn melodies and songs with insane speed, which probably helped you quite a bit as you learned your prayers for today. When you're in the mood, you are a performer on any stage. Your virtuoso performances on the soccer field, basketball court, races, compete with your performances dancing or singing your heart out or doing little comedy skits unprompted. I notice that you fight doing the work, but when you get into it, you realize it's actually enjoyable, and better yet, you love the end product. That's a good takeaway for you, and one that we talk about all the time. Nothing comes without hard work and dedication, and great things come from it. You have a strong sense of yourself. You don't care what others think. You march to the beat of your own drum. You're creative, you're smart, have the ability to get things immediately that interest you. At times you're quiet but fierce. When you're motivated and when you work hard, I've yet to see anything or anybody stop you. I love your trash talking before and during any competition, whether it's basketball, running, or some silly feat. And at the same time, you're so compassionate towards your friends or even your competition. I've seen you let people score on you so they don't feel bad without letting them know that that's what you're doing. I've seen you stand and consult and protect kids who have been bullied. You are protective of your baby brother, Quinn. I'm really proud to have not one, but two boys who have completed their bar mitzvah studies. I'll close with this. There's a saying that goes, in life, those who stand for nothing fall for anything. Continue to forge your identity using your foundation in Judaism, your strong sense of family, and your willingness to fight to achieve what you want. I love you, boys.
Hey, give your dad a hug. Go ahead. Give him a hug. Go ahead. Mom, you're going to, all right. Cam, you're going to take the Tallit first from your dad, I think, and you recite the blessing.
That's okay. I'll get it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher keishanu b'mitzotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. All right, Ryan, you're going to take, except from your mom, the Tallit. Let's move that microphone in front of you, and then we'll recite the blessing as well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen.
That's mine.
Ta'amdu, Esther bat Yitzchak v'Chana, v'Sara bat Esther Rishon.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Vayaset hamenorah zahav tahor mikeshar asa et hamenorah yerecha v'kana givieha kafetoreha uferacheha mimena hayu Vishisha kanim yotzim mitzideha shalosha kaneh menorah mitzida ha'echad ushalosha kaneh menorah mitzida ha'sheni Shalosha givim mishukadim bekaneh echad kafetor ha'vaferach ushalosha givim mishukadim bekaneh echad kaftor vafarach Kain l'sheishet hakanim hayotzim min hamenorah uvamenorah arba'a gidim mishukadim kaftorecha uferacheha
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. All right, want me to call? And Jordy, you can have a seat. Go ahead. Jordy, nice to see you remembered. That was great. Yeah, there you go. So if you heard, we just hit, are you feeling that we've hit this 1 year mark of where we began a year ago? And we remember well the clergy that are here because Rabbi Galko and I had been in Washington, D.C. for the APAC convention, the policy conference. And so we came back. That's when everything was starting to get a little bit concerned about the East Coast and bringing it here. We were in voluntary quarantine. And then the first Shabbat that we had, right, the Chazanim, the cantors were in the sanctuary with Rabbi Lev, because we have no rabbi who was not in quarantine. So we took a previous rabbi who's wonderful and part of our community, and we put him in the sanctuary, and we did by live streaming. We had no idea what to do. B'nai Mitzvah were starting to cancel, right? They were starting to move. They figured, okay, we'll move it to August. Oh, by then it'll be done. Right? Like October, for sure it'll be done. And then we learned that first week, by the way, that by doing live streaming, it just doesn't work. Like that experience of feeling like you're part of the prayers, just like when you're in that sanctuary and there's nothing there, we learned, remember Chazan, like that didn't work. And then we go like, what do you do now? Well, there's a thing called Zoom. You think we could have services over Zoom? Like, well, I never thought about that. Like what? And from there began, right, this whole notion of how can we come into people's homes and bring prayer to them and to bring the experiences that they couldn't have in the first primary condition. Like, it feels great to be here, doesn't it, family, friends? Like, this is your feeling the sense of holiness, to be able to be present. Like, you feel it. For those of you who are out there, by the way, when you're on Zoom, it's nice because we can see faces. When you're in live streaming, it feels like you're in a virtual experience, somehow just extended beyond, like not quite there, but you're there. But again, not quite there. We feel the sense of hope with vaccinations that are coming more speedily. We hear now, hopefully by May 1st, that everybody who's eligible will be in line, right? All adults will be able to be in line to get the vaccination. The idea of experiencing holiness at a secondary level, by the way, is nothing new. It's an interesting concept we have because in truth, the tabernacle is part of a secondary experience of holiness. Now, the tabernacle is what we're reading about. Cam and Ryan, we're going to hear about it later. I've tried not to steal too much of the thunder, but this is when they're building the tabernacle. And this is what this is called in Hebrew, the Mishkan. And this is where they're going to be housing, right, the 10 Commandments in the Holy Ark. This is where they're going to be offering sacrifices. And so the question is, what is the role of the tabernacle? Why are they building it now just as they're about to get underway and to go along their journeys in the wilderness? What is the tabernacle? Well, according to biblical scholars, the Israelites had the most intimate experience with God at Mount Sinai. They heard, supposedly, God reciting the 10 Commandments. They were there and experienced God firsthand in the way that no other group has experienced God. Well, what do you do after that amazing experience? How do you relive it on a regular basis? So according to biblical scholars, the tabernacle is taking with them the experience of Mount Sinai in a virtual way. And what does that mean? It means that according to these scholars, the tabernacle is actually Mount Sinai replicated, but just in a horizontal way instead of it being vertical. Cameron, Ryan, I don't know if you've thought about this. Right? The idea is, remember, it kept going up in holiness. Remember? Who could be at the top only? Only Moses could be at the top. And then who was halfway down the mountain? It was Joshua. And where was everybody else? They were at the base of the mountain. Now, I want you to put that mountain and lay it down. And who's Moses now? That's the high priest that could only go in there on Yom Kippur. And then on the outside, right, the next level is where the priest could offer sacrifice. That was Joshua, who could go up half of the mountain. And everybody else is on the outside. You see, The tabernacle was the Israelites' way of taking God with them in that experience and doing it in a virtual way. It's exactly what it was. They couldn't have the original one. And so we do the best we can. And in fact, much of the appurtenances, the sort of the vessels that they had inside and the design was based on to help experience Mount Sinai. So you have the ark, of course, and the tabernacle, the 10 Commandments is there. And then the menorah. Now, more than just an experience of Mount Sinai, we talk about this idea of oneness with God. And where was the only other time where there was oneness with God? It was in the Garden of Eden. Now, I don't know if you ever heard this explanation, but the menorah is supposed to, on the one hand, according to some, represent the tree of life that was there in the garden. And two, represents, because it's 7-branched candelabra, the 7 days of creation. And that's why we have in every synagogue, supposed to have a menorah, supposed to have an eternal light that reminds us of that menorah. We're supposed to have the ark reminding us. Why? Because it's a reminder of the tabernacle. And that tabernacle is a reminder of Mount Sinai. Isn't that a beautiful image? So we are used to virtual experiences, Chazan. Isn't that something? Like to take it with us and to hold on to it. So here's what I want you to take from this is, next time we're actually able to be in the synagogue, next time we're able to be there and you feel what you think is primary holiness, do you remember it's actually only secondary? We're supposed to experience that great moment at Mount Sinai, supposed to experience creation. And a virtual world is born through the tabernacle, and we now try and figure out how to stay connected in our holiness. Well, we're going to continue now with the second Aliyah as we call forward your grandma. Agnes, you're going to join us up here, please, as we call you forward.
Ta'amud, Chana bat Asher v'fredu sheni.
Adonai המבורך.
Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen. וחבטור תחת שני הקנים ממנה, וחבטור תחת שני הקנים ממנה, וחבטור תחת שני הקנים ממנה, לששת הקנים היוצאים ממנה, חבטוריהם וקנותם ממנה היו מקשה אחת זהב טהור, ויעש את נרותיך שבעה, ומלכיך ומחתותיך זהב טהור, כיכר זהב טהור עשה אותה, ואת כל כליך.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו.
Amen.
We're going to join together now in a prayer for healing, because we know we've been talking about this 1-year anniversary of the beginning of the pandemic, and so many of us are still in need of healing of all kinds. So we'll join together now in Misha Berach.
Strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the
for the healing of Elon Shayot, Dina bat Yocheved, Chaim ben Sarah, Reuven ben Malka, Chana bat Fagel, Tikva bat Gila Elisheva, Rachel Sarah bat Leah, Shoshana bat Serel, Sarah bat Rachel, Susan Stavis, Lori Simon, Hinda bat Irene, Rachel bat Moshe Aharon, Kasalea bat Adelaine, Zachary Whedon, Mira bat Devorah, Recha Sarah bat Peril, Yael bat Penina, Baruch ben Chaya Surah, Paula Shayot, Yeshua David ben Fagel, Uri ben Yehudit, Nikki Sandor, Zakit bat Masha, Christina Witt, Ariel Harrison, and of course, anyone who's suffering from the coronavirus and all of the frontline workers who are putting themselves at risk.
הבחור הבר מצווה יעמוד, יעמוד, יעמוד. בנימין בן אסתר שלישי חזק. Zuck.
Just so you know, that's how Ryan would like to be called every time he comes into a room.
Yeah, I was.
Just so you know, he's in his moment now. Ryan, before you begin the Torah reading, you're going to share with us some of your thoughts on today's Torah portion. That's what your speech. That's
okay,
that's
good,
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure the microphone's right in front of you, my friend.
My Parsha Vayahel begins with the Israelites having just sinned with the golden calf. Moses has assembled the entire Israelite community and said to them, "These are the laws that Adonai has commanded you to observe." We were told to observe the Sabbath and to build a tabernacle, which is a meeting place of worship. The majority of my Parsha goes into great detail about how Adonai wanted the tabernacle to be built. This included who built it, what materials would be used, what would be inside, and where everything would be placed. Both the observance of Shabbat and the building of the tabernacle were done as a community. The word Vayahel comes from the same root as Kehila, which means community. I think religion creates community, and in Judaism, the observance of Shabbat in our synagogues help build a sense of community. Shabbat creates a community because every Friday night in my family, we go to the piano room, as we call it, and light the candles and pray. This action ends our busy week and brings us together. I know that my family is not the only Jewish family lighting candles. When Shabbat comes around, my family and I sometimes have Shabbat dinner where we eat the good food that my mom and grandma make. When we are at the table, we all get a chance to talk about our funny parts of our week. Sometimes my dad also gives us trivia questions. All of these activities make me feel connected with my family. This is a big part of why Shabbat builds a community. Synagogues also create a sense of community. Whether someone has a family or not, they can go to a synagogue and no one will be alone. I experienced community through my synagogue by making friends at Hebrew school at Temple Aliyah. When I was in Hebrew school at Temple Aliyah, I had friends. These are the friends I did not have classes with during the day at school, but Hebrew school provided a community where we were able to become closer friends. Becoming a bar mitzvah for me is a big accomplishment. I have been preparing for this moment for a long time. It hasn't always been easy, especially having to do it all over Zoom. but I worked hard and made it work. I'd like to think that I'm more mature and responsible as a bar mitzvah. This whole process has reminded me that when I have something to do, I won't leave it to the last minute. There are several people I'd like to thank that have helped me through this journey of becoming a bar mitzvah. First, I would like to thank my parents for helping me all the way. I would also like to thank Rabbi Vogel, Rabbi Golkow, Rabbi Adam, and Hazan Stein for supporting me. And I would especially like to thank Hazan Mimi for all her patience and helping me learn all my blessings and prayers. Thank you for listening. Okay. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Venatan Lanu et Torto. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Yeah. Fayas et mitzvah ketoret atzei shitim ama arko ve'amaroch bo ravua ve'amataim komato mimenu hayu karnotav v'yitzaf oto zahav tahor et gagov et kirotav saviv va'et karnotav vayas lo zer zahav saviv ushte tabeot zahav asalo mitahat lezero all shetei salotav, all shenei zidav, levatim, laseit oto bahem, fayas et havadim atzei shitim, v'yitzaf otam zahav, fayas et shemen hamisha, Kodesh, ve'et ketoret hasamim tahor, ma'aseh rokeya. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata betohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yitkadal ve'yitkada shemei Rabba ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam alam me'amaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudusha berichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata benechemata damiran be'alma ve'imru. Amen.
We are taking out a second Torah now. We have a special reading today. Today is called Shabbat HaChodesh. That word Chodesh, some of you might recognize, it means month. And we observe Shabbat HaChodesh on the Shabbat that falls right before the beginning of the Hebrew month of Nisan, the month in which Passover falls. So you're going to see in a minute, Cameron is going to read for us from this special portion. It's all about the laws of Passover, which is a very good reminder for us that it is just about time to start getting ready for Passover. In a minute, Chazan Stein is going to call up Cameron, and he'll share with us some thoughts on the Torah portion. After that, you'll be able to find his Torah reading, Exodus chapter 12, verse 1. If you're in the Eitz Chaim Chumash, that's page 380. But first, Chazan Stein will call up Cameron.
Abachur abar mitzvah Yamod Chaim ben Esther Revi Chazak Chazak.
All right, Cameron, before you begin your Torah reading, that was a special call-up, wasn't that, from Chazan Stein? Before you begin the Torah reading, you're going to share some of your thoughts today's portion. Go ahead.
My parsha reading is Pekudei, and it is at the end of the book of Exodus, and it is right before the holiday Passover. My reading is about Moses instructing the Levites, Ithamar, the son of Aaron, and Betzalet from the tribe Judah to construct the tabernacle. The tabernacle to me is a portable tent synagogue. While reading my parsha, the theme of accountability stood out to me. Being accountable means living with integrity where all your thoughts, words, and actions are consistent with one another. In Pekudei, Moses had to be accountable to himself, Adonai, and the Israelites. Moses was responsible for instructing the Israelites on how to build the tabernacle, what materials to use, and how to place everything exactly how Adonai wanted. According to the Jewish law, when a Jewish boy is 13 years old, he becomes a bar mitzvah and is accountable for his actions. To me, being a bar mitzvah is a great milestone in my life, and it is now my duty to carry on the traditions and rituals of Judaism. I will be taken more seriously when I participate in prayers and conversations. There are 3 areas in my life where I hold myself accountable. I have to be accountable to myself, my family, and my friends. To be accountable to myself, I have to be responsible for my actions and follow through with what I say I'm going to do. For example, if my goal in social studies class is to get an A, it is not enough for me to just say it. I must make time for studying, which includes extra reading, making study notes, and attending teacher office hours. All these steps put me in a better positions to achieve the grade I want. Also, being accountable to myself means if I get in trouble, which happens frequently, I have to accept and recognize what it is I did wrong to fix it. Next, I have to be there for my family. I have to be responsible and listen to their directions and help them. When my parents tell me to do something, it is now my responsibility to do it. When you are asked to do something, it is rude and disrespectful for you to listen and not go through with it. If I do not do it, my parents cannot count on me anymore. They lose trust, and it shows I'm not responsible. If I do as they say, they can count on me and trust me to do whatever they say. The last area I hold myself accountable is with my friends. During a regular day, your friends make the most of it, as you spend most of your time with them at school and on sport teams, and you make great memories together. To me, it is my responsibility to make sure I keep these friendships, and I am always there for a friend in need. It is important to have lasting friendships throughout your life. They are there to help you. They are there to help you too. Just like I was taught in kindergarten, you need to treat others the way you want to be treated. It is my duty as a friend to be there whenever my friends need me or would like to talk, just how they would do the same for me. Throughout my years attending Hebrew school, I wanted to say thank you to all the teachers who have helped me along the way to become a bar mitzvah. I also want to say a huge thank you to Hazan Mimi, because without her, I would not be here standing at the bima, reciting all these blessings at my Torah portion with ease. I also would want to thank my parents for helping me become the young man I am today, and for providing me with all the materials to help me succeed. As parents, they're accountable for raising their children the best of their abilities. I think they did a great job. Thank you again.
Thanks. Ryan, I'm going to call you back up, right? You're going to stand next to your brother, go over there just for the end. And then to remind you, those of you who are here at the end, the conclusion of this Torah reading, it's when you're going to throw and shower them with sweets to acknowledge the sweetness that they're going to have. And Cameron, you're going to begin with the blessing. Go ahead.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavorah.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Ve'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Okay, I see. There we go. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe vel Aharon be'eretz Mitzrayim lemor hachodesh hazeh lachem rosh hodashim rishon hu lachem lachodshe hazeh hashat el kol ada Yisrael lemor be'asor lachodesh hazeh vayiku lachem ish sela ve'avot sela bayit ve'imimat habayit mihiot miseh velakahu ushkeno hakarov el beito bemiksat nefashot ish lefi ochlo tahosu al haseh setamim zahar shana yihyeh lachem min hakevasim umin ha'izim tikahu v'chaya lachem lemishmeret ad arbaat asar yom lachodesh hazeh v'shachatu oto kol kehaladat Yisrael ben ha'arbaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Yehelanu, 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 Ulecha Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecha Yisrael. David Melech Yisrael Chai v'kayam. David Melech Yisrael Chai v'kayam. Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Simen Tov, Yehelanu.
Hey, Ryan and Quinn. Sorry, Ryan and Cameron. Go ahead. Move move it towards you.
Hello,
Brian,
hello.
if you don't mind, you'll put your mask back on. Yeah. Whew, boy. With all the candy was thrown, you'd think there are 150 people here. Right? And there's about 30 people here. Some cousins who are helping out and some who are cleaning up. How you feeling, boys?
Good.
Yeah, you feeling better, Ryan? Yeah.
I was always better.
You're always better. Well, getting to know the two of you has been quite the experience. Cameron and Ryan, first of all, I adore your parents and the Jewish home that they've created, both of them. Both of your parents engaged in what does it mean to create a house of love and of faith and of tradition. And I'm just inspired by both of you. And Jordy, it's just, right? How's it feel to be on the back side of it and to celebrate with your brothers? Isn't it great? And Cameron, you were willing to do this in essence, right? You're not sure. So we talked about it. You said, well, I'm not sure how much of a choice I had, but But the truth of the matter is that you embrace this moment with your brother, right? And the two of you, when I asked you what's the difference between the two of you, share with me a little bit, right? Ryan, you had that great insight. Well, I guess he has a deeper voice than I do. But in truth, you two are so different. Cam, you're an old soul, right? You just have a sense of somehow that you've been on this journey before, and you're helping us through the journey. Right? You have a great wisdom and insight. And Ryan, you have great wisdom as well, and you're just here like for a great time to enjoy that journey, right? To enjoy and to make fun and to create celebration. And those of you who couldn't see here, watching him behind the scenes was just incredible. Trying to keep him focused, trying to keep everything intact. Ryan, did you enjoy it? You did enjoy it. What do you mean? Of course.
Yeah.
Cameron, how about you?
I did.
You did as well.
Yes.
Are you proud of the work that you put into this?
Yeah.
Do you feel this Jewish connection right now, that you hope that you do? That's what we want you to have. We want you to understand that in life, the things that are going to be the most meaningful for you are the things that are going to take the most work. That being Jewish is not always easy because you sometimes have to make sacrifices and you have to work hard to create a Jewish family. But the two of you have so far indicated that you understand what that journey is about. And so you're engaged now in terms of sports and other things and life. And what we hope is that this piece of your journey will stay with you, that you will live out the values as you grow into adulthood and to pass it on to the next generation as well. This is what we call a Shechianu moment, a moment of sanctification, of acknowledging a special moment. So tell you what, we're going to have all of you stand up where you are, if you will. Put your arms around your neighbor. Yeah. Except for the tall guys in front here, maybe. I'm not sure about you. We'll have to see. You might have to move over to the side. We're going to join together in the Shechianu. Here we go.
We want to thank all of our Torah readers from this morning, Michelle Hoish and Bob Epstein, and of course, Cameron and Ryan, who are doing such a beautiful job, and we're not done hearing from them this morning. We're going to continue now. We're back in the Siddur Lev Shalem, and we're going to bring up Quinn, who is going to recite for us a prayer for our country. We're on page 177. He'll read that first paragraph in the English of a prayer for our country.
Our God and God of our ancestors, with mercy, accept our prayer on behalf of our country and its government. Pour out your blessing upon this land, upon its inhabitants, upon its leaders, its judges, officers, and officials who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the public. Help them understand the rules of justice you have decreed, so that peace and security, happiness and freedom will never depart from our land.
Amen.
Beautiful job, Quinn. We're now going to recite a prayer for the state of Israel. We're on page 178, Avinu Shebashamayim.
Avinu Shebashamayim, Sur Israel v'goalo. Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Avinu Shebashamayim, Sur Yisrael v'goalo. Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu.
Avinu Sheba Shamayim, bless the state of Israel, bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy, and let us say Amen. If you're there in person, you'll see Rabbi Vogel is about to pick up the Torah as we join together in a prayer announcing the new month. We mentioned the month of Nisan, the month that includes Passover, is beginning soon. So we're on page 180. We'll join together first in the English. May the new month bring renewal to our lives, a renewal of wonder, a renewal of freedom, a renewal of love, a renewal of justice, a renewal of friendship, a renewal of holiness. And we say Amen.
So we always begin with a song that's going to remind us of the coming month. I know you know this melody, but maybe not these words. Mi she'asa nisim la'avotenu uga'al otam me'avdut l'cheirut hu yigal otanu ha'havokavitz nechenu me'arba kanfot haaretz haaretz chaverim kol Yisrael chaverim kol Yisrael chaverim kol Yisrael chaverim Yisrael v'nomar amen Rosh Chodesh Nisan yeh biyom rishon haba alinu ve'al kol Yisrael letova.
Rosh Chodesh Nisan is tomorrow, Sunday, and we hope it will hold blessing for all of us and for the people of Israel.
יחדשהו הקדוש ברוך הוא עלינו ועל כל עמו בית ישראל לחיים ולשלום
Amen.
לששון ולשמחה
Amen.
לישועה ולנחמה ונאמר אמן.
May it be a good month ahead. We'll join together now in Ashrei. Hazan Mimi will lead us, page 181.
Ashrei yoshvei veitecha od yehalelucha selah. Ashrei am shgahalo, ashrei am sharonai lahavdi lahavdi. Tilat Adonai yedaber pi vivarech kol basar Shem kodsho le'olam va'ed va'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata ve'ad olam hallelujah.
As we conclude the Torah service, we put that Torah away. We'll join together in Eitz Chaim, page 184.
Eitz Chaim
We'll take a minute now for the Musaf Amidah. Give you a few minutes to just pray to yourselves, whatever's in your heart, whatever you'd like to pray. The Musaf Amidah begins on page 185, continues through page 192. Feel free to use the Hebrew, the English, or just to use the time for some personal meditation.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ויעקב ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, amen. Let's sing Lai Lai. Here we go. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la.
Continue with Kaddish Alem, page 203.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רב המבורך, לעלם לעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ותאמר וינשא ויתהדר ויתהלב ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ושבחתה ונחמתה דמירון בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. תתגבר צלות הון ובוד הון לכל בית ישראל קודם ושמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen.
We rise for Aleinu, and Cameron and Ryan are going to lead us once again, page 205.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol latet gadula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu kibishpahot ha'adama Shelo Sam Kilkenu Kahem Vegoralenu Kikol Hamonam Va'anachnu Korim Umishtahavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Mahalke Hamalhim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Shehuno Teshamayim Veyoser Aretz Umoshe Vikaro Bashamayim Mima'al Ushina Tuzo Vego Hey Meromi Him Hu Eloheinu Ein Od Eretz Malkeinu Efesu Ato Kagatu Betorato Viadata Hayom Gahashevota Elevaha Ki Adonai Hucha Elohim Vashamayim Mima'al V'vaha'aretz V'vaha'aretz Mitahat
Ein Od.
Ein Od.
Kakatu Betorah Techa Adonai Yimloch Leolam Va'ed Ve'ne'emar Ve'chaya Adonai Lamelech Al Kol Haaretz Vayom Hahu Yihye Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad.
You may be seated. You have a seat, and you're going to get ready for Kiddush and Motzi in just a moment, right, Cameron Ryan? And I'm going to share some announcements, by the way, for those of you, especially out in the virtual land. And if you are reciting the mourner's Kaddish in which to join us on Zoom, you can do that. But just if you're coming in for the Kaddish, we ask everyone else can join in a little bit later. So those of you can make the transition now to Zoom for Kaddish. I want to welcome to everybody. Welcome everybody here celebrating Cameron and Ryan's bar mitzvah. How you all still feeling? Good? Woo. Come on, let me hear it out here. Come on, let me hear. There you go. All right, next Shabbat, we're going to have the bar mitzvah of Aaron Masachi. We're looking forward. Yeah. Aaron Masachi will be next week. We're looking forward to celebrating with the family. And then next week as well, Rabbi Peretz is going to be teaching after services on Zoom, lunch. Her wonderful class, Life is at a Crossroads. It's a great class. I encourage all of you to log on to the Zoom at that time. Most exciting event of the year is underway. Now is the time to register for the Aliyah Grand Prix. This won't be real cars. I know for a moment. I know you love cars. Cameron, this is going to be the those little cars that you race and that before race. And Ben Vorspan is helping organize this. Are we excited, Ben? We're very excited. There's going to be awards for best design. There's so many different categories for ages 7 and under. There's all kinds of activities, and it's going to be a great fun event and as well fundraiser. So it'll be fundraiser and fundraiser. When you can have both of those at the same time. So go to aliyahrolls.com. Did you really create that website, Ben? aliyahrolls.com. And you can find out how to register and how to do this. We're just so excited. Passover is only 2 weeks away. Nicole, you ready? Like, not a chance. I know. 2 weeks away. Tomorrow, tune in. By the way, we've had great programs for Passover. Tomorrow is a tasty Passover desserts workshop. On Monday, we're presenting some fun song parodies to spice up your Seder. Just look on our online, templealiyah.org/Passover. And we have all kinds of activities. I'm going to be putting up questions that you can bring to your Seder table as well for you. And by the way, even though we're not always here at the synagogue physically, we're always here for you. So all you have to do is send an email to Rabbi Vogel at templealiyah.org. If it's something really important and quick you want, just send it to Rabbi Galko at templealiyah.org. Why not? All right. She's good for that. All right. We have Hazan Stein and Hazan Mimi, Maureen. Everybody is available for you here. So just let us know. In the meantime, now that we've welcomed people in for the Kaddish, it's at this moment we acknowledge the yortzites, the memories of those who have gone before us. On this Shabbat, remember the yortzites of Emil Barash, Andrea Borkowski, Sultanan Delazadeh, Elias Golan, Meyer Levine, Lila Lipkin, Irving Pedowitz, Phyllis Wolf, Ruth Aker, Jean Kaplan, Gabriella Farkas, Doris Friedman, Cynthia Glazer, Sally Goldsmith, Evelyn Goodman, Bernard Kemper, George Rockmore, Elaine Rosenberg, Lottie Rosenberg, Ella Silver, Herman August, Lillian Bubman Wexler, Isidore Dubinsky, Lillian Dunn, Herbert Enoch, William Goldberg, Earl Hagen, Isidore Maurer, Rose Meyer, Henry Rose, Armin Volk, Ellen Bernstein, Harriet Cosmer, Dennis Stein, Dora Elner, Samuel Gable, Lorraine Gerson, Joseph Gottfried, Morris Green, Conrad Leitner, Richard Lopata, Bertha Machuca, Rachel Minus, David Schenfeld, Pearl Sims, John Benko, Morris Bill, Nathan Friedman, Daniel Glazer, Maya Kardish, Sarah Kushner, Muriel Mandel, Irvin Myrovich, Jay Nelson, Rachel Plachta, Shelley Schiffman, Clifford Small, Anita Thormer, Marilyn Bachner, Sydney Bruskin, Miriam Cutts, Doris Dexter, Dorothy Friedman, Irving Goldsmith, Irving Schulman, Teresa Bazbaz, Rissa Brenner, Barbara Don, Marie Carlton, Harry Lopata, Nora Page, Sylvia Posnick, Joseph Rosenberg, and Alan Sandberg. And if we didn't call out the name of your loved one, I'd love you to call out that name right now. We're going to recite Kaddish for them in just a moment. We also acknowledge the recent bereavements.
Samuel Mont.
Okay, we recall the bereavements this past week of Myrna Samuels, mother of David and Patty Samuels. And we mourn the passing of Harvey Saltz, father of Michael, Beth Saltz, and Tori Rogers. For those of you reciting the Mourner's Kaddish at this time, you can unmute yourselves if you want so we can hear you as well. We're going to recite the Mourner's Kaddish slowly and clearly together as we join page 207. Those reciting Kaddish, I ask you to rise. Gadol
Kadash Shema Rabba Alma Divrei Malachute Chaye Beit Yisrael V'Amlah Shema Rabba Mevar Ala and Meyer Barach Nishtabach Yitbal V'Yitbal Say Gadol V'Yitaleh
Yitbarach, Yishtabach, V'yitar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yithalal, Shemei, the Kudisha, Richu, Tushmin, Kol Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Da'amiran, V'yalma, V'yimru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu, Yisrael, V'yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimroma, Huya Oseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, Amen.
Heaven's grant peace and harmony for us, for all of Israel, and all humanity, as we say, Amen. You can mute yourselves again, those of you who are there for Kaddish. And if whoever wants to join now for Kiddush and Motzi and to come onto Zoom, you can do that. And then you're going to stay for our virtual Kiddush luncheon. So hopefully you have a good lunch to share as well. We're going to do a little bit of a nigun, just some music to get us in the mood for the Kiddush, and beginning with Vishamru. I'm going to call up. Come on, everybody up here. Nicole and Bobby and Ryan and Cameron and Jordy and Quinn coming up here to help us. So I'm ask you to ride.
Bye.
Al Kain Berach Adonai et Yom HaShabbat Vayikachehu Saveri Habarai
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Peri Hagafen.
Amen.
The boys are going to come over here and wash their hands and then dry. Go ahead, just pour it over each hand. There you go, Jordy. Thanks for helping them out there. All right, Quinn, I want you to come over here and get the challah because you're going to help us recite Motzi. Okay, so take that challah, take it over to your mom. Okay, Nicole, you're going to hold the challah over there for Quinn. Okay. Just moving from the microphone. Move that microphone over. Bring Quinn over there. However you want to do it. That's how you can leave it there. Yeah. Okay, Quinn, dry your hands and then go over there. And you're going to, by the microphone, and take the challah with you. Good. All right, take the challah over to that microphone. Quinn, you're going to help us do Motzi over there. Come on, get over there, you. All right, go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha'ileh min haaretz.
Amen. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Good Shabbat.